In a quiet, sun-drenched suburb, under a perfectly normal sky, lived a little girl named Lily. And in her backyard, she shared a secret that would change her world forever. Her best friend wasn't from the neighborhood or even from this millennium. He was a small, playful dinosaur she called Toto. Together, they ran through the grass, chasing balls, their laughter mixing with the barks of the family dog. It was a picture of pure, innocent joy. If you looked closely, you might have seen it. A strange, silent flash of light in the distant sky. A hint that the magic in Lily's life had a source, and that source was beginning to fail. The house, in her father's office, buried under schematics and tools, sat a device he called the temporal stabilizer. It was a beautiful, dangerous thing. A gateway to the past, now trembling on his desk. Its gears whirred uneasily, and a small holographic display flickered a warning he dreaded to see. Status unstable. He was a man torn between his brilliant ambition and his role as a protector. And when Lily's mother called her in for dinner,
Lily, dinner's ready.
Okay, Mom. Coming.
pulling her away from her prehistoric playmate,
Now, how about that dinner?
the father forced a smile for his daughter. The instability grew. A low, deep hum began to emanate from the device, vibrating through the very foundations of the house. A cup of pencils rattled on the desk, a tiny, terrifying tremor of what was to come.
No, not now.
A giant dragonfly, a relic from a long-lost world, zipped past the kitchen window. In the garden, nestled among the tulips, a new egg, a dinosaur egg, began to wobble and crack.
Did you hear that, Toto?
Where the father saw a catastrophe unfolding, Lily saw only wonder.
Dad!
"Look, Dad!" she exclaimed, her face lit with delight.
Look! A new friend.
But her father's face was a mask of pure dread. He knew what these signs meant. The door he had opened was breaking. A series of large, mottled eggs began to materialize from shimmering pockets of air. And then, the first crack. The machine was beyond his control. The process was now biological. It had a life of its own. The large egg exploded outward, and from the shards emerged a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex, no bigger than a turkey, but with the same unmistakable form, the same powerful jaws. Inside the house, David's head snapped up. He saw it through the window. His eyes widened in pure terror. No! It was a horrifying time-lapse of evolution. Muscles expanded, bones elongated, its shadow stretching across the lawn. In mere seconds. Oh no! New dinosaurs were being born from the eggs, non-stop. In the kitchen, Sarah stood frozen, unheard. Her hands rose to her mouth, her eyes refusing to believe the nightmare unfolding in her own backyard. And then the sky tore open. A swirling vortex of purple and blue energy erupted above their home.
Dad?
The world itself seemed to scream in protest. Lily, terrified, stood frozen. But Toto, her loyal friend, was scared for her, not of the storm. He stepped in front of her, a small but brave shield. Her father rushed in.
Lily! Get away from the windows!
Pulling her to the safest part of the house. He knelt before her,
Lily,
his heart breaking.
the door to that other tunnel.
He explained, Lily, to close the portal, he whispered.
To close it, all the creatures from the past have to go back. All of them.
Lily's world shattered. Her face crumbled as she looked from her father to her best friend.
But Dad, Toto is family.
And so, the bravest and most heartbreaking walk began. Lily, small and solemn, led Toto towards the raging portal in the backyard. She leaned her forehead against his, a final, intimate nudge. A single, perfect tear rolled down her cheek as she made him a promise.
I'll never forget you. Promise.
Toto looked back at her one last time, his eyes filled with a sad understanding. Then, with a courageous leap, he vanished into the light. The portal collapsed with a deafening implosion, sucking the light and sound out of the world, leaving behind an absolute, crushing silence. Lily stood alone in the sudden calm, the tears on her cheeks catching the moonlight. But then, through the grief, something else emerged. A faint, brave smile. A smile not of happiness, but of love and memory, and a promise kept. Life slowly returned to normal. The backyard was green, the sky was blue. Lily played with her dog, but a part of her was still missing, a quiet sadness in her eyes. But one day, she was drawn to a cluster of bushes at the edge of the yard, and there, hidden away, she found it. A single, football-sized egg, pulsing with a soft, golden light. She dug a small hole with her hands, placed the egg inside, and covered it with soil, planting a secret for the future. And if you were to look very, very closely at, you would see the tiny shadow of a claw. The story was not over. It was only waiting to begin again. The broken temporal stabilizer flickered to life, and on the screen was a live feed. It was Lily, but older now, a confident young woman, smiling.
See, Dad? I told you he was family.
Their greatest adventure was just beginning.